Hello and welcome to my third of 4 videos where I am sharing my top 20 tips or my 20 ideas for 2020 of how you can get a better balance and flourish in your relationship with food, fitness, family and faith. And this is the third video looking at family and getting a better balance. Now, I don't obviously have all of the answers. I am a mum of 6 and life is not always easy. It is a struggle sometimes. But these are just some of the things that I think would help all of us to have a little bit of maybe a better balance this year, and some things I'm going to focus on particularly. So my top 5 things for family then are this. Number 1, your family don't need more things, they need more time with you. And this is not a kind of a beat yourself over the head type thing of, well, we don't have enough quality time. I'm talking about small things like involving them, baking with them, having a concerted effort to have some time talking with them about their day, asking them about the day, not just how was your day, but some specific questions to help draw out what they've been learning maybe in school, taking time to play board games, looking at the things that they want to do, spending time, maybe looking at, rather than having presents for things like birthdays and Christmas, having more kind of opportunities to go out and do stuff together as a family, making memories and having adventures. It's something I used to do a lot with them when they were younger. It's got hard as they've got older, partly because their tastes have changed and because we've got a varying age range from like 2 up to almost 12. But also actually just because it's got harder to kind of enjoy being with them, if that makes sense. And so that's something I'm going to focus on this year. I'm going to focus on taking time to enjoy being with my children and being a part of their lives and them a part of mine. That kind of leads me on a little bit to my second point, which is that you need to involve your kids. So involve your kids in what you're doing in your life, and invest yourself in involving yourself in their lives too. So it's things like, it can be bigger things like spending time with them, but small things like just talking with them about your beliefs, talking with them about why it is you make certain decisions about things, taking time to explain to them, helping them to understand your thought process. Obviously this is easier as they get older in some sense than when they're younger, but sort of laying that ground rules there that you are a unit, you're a team together. It's not parents and children, although there is that as well, because there needs to be that sense of kind of respect and that you are a team working together. Involvement in the housework, in chores, where you can. I need to make more of an effort on this, because it's not always easy involving your kids in doing jobs around the house, because they're not going to like it. They do, my kids do the basics of looking after their bedrooms and putting their own clothes away, but I think actually they can be doing more in terms of playing their role, playing their part in being part of this family. And it's other things then, the kind of the positive involvement. So the kids are always asking me, can I do an exercise? Can I do a workout? So actually I should be doing more workouts. That we've got loads of family workouts on our Sweatflix, and I should be doing some of those with them, showing them, teaching them how to move their body so that it actually helps them and sets them up for their adult lives. I should be doing more of that this year, and I'm going to make an effort to do that. The third thing, though, I think is something that we all struggle with, and that's that fear of failure, or rather that feeling of being a failure as a parent. Parenting is really hard work. It doesn't get easier as they get older, it just changes and it's different. And I think we can all say that we feel like a failure at times, or a lot of the time. I often get to the end of the day and feel like I have failed yet again. And so I just want to put it out there that you are not alone if you feel like that. We all do. And it is very easy to play the comparison game as a parent, isn't it? You look at and seeing what someone else's life looks like and how rosy their lives look like, or you think how wonderful they look like, their parents and their children. And actually on the outside, your family and your life might look like that to somebody else. It's not always the case of how it seems on the outside of what it is on the inside. And parenting is hard. I've said that already. It is really, really hard. And we are all human. We are fallible and we make mistakes, and it's about learning to say sorry to kids and modelling the right behaviour, and knowing and actually being honest with them that we don't get it right all the time, but that we are trying and we're only human. And knowing that you're not a failure. If your children feel loved, if your children are well cared for, they're fed, they're going to school, you are educating them yourself. If they have good routines, they're in good structure and they're flourishing, then you're not failing. and take each day as it comes. Each new morning is a new morning full of new mercies. Start afresh every day. Apologise and be honest with your kids where you can, and you're not a failure. Honestly, you're not. I'm not, and you're not. Okay. Fourth thing is it kind of ties in, but it's this notion of connecting before correcting and listening to your children. So it's about spending time building the relationship with your children before just focusing all the time on talking to them about ways they need to improve. It's when they have done something that's not right and you do need to talk about them. It's connecting with them first, building that relationship, saying, I love you, but I love you, but I'm not happy with this behaviour, or I love you, but this wasn't right. It's about, sometimes it's about a physical connection, not just about words. So it's about taking them on your lap, or it's about hugging them, getting down to their eye level and saying, we need to talk about this, whatever. The fifth thing then is something that I repeat to myself over and over again, and it's all just a phase. This is just a phase, and it will pass. It's just a phase. It will pass. The reality is that there'll be another new phase that you then have to deal with as well. But it's about understanding that there is an ebb and flow of life, that nothing remains the same forever. Just as you think you've solved one particular thing, you're going to get another challenge. But equally, where something is a challenge and you think, how am I ever going to get out of this? Is this ever going to end? With sleepless nights with little ones, it is a phase and it will pass. But also recognising that it is a phase and it will pass, so make the most of it now. Enjoy the time with your children wherever possibly you can. Make the memories, take the time to record and mark the memories in however way you want to do that, because before you know it, that phase will have passed and they will have got older. And there's a kind of a saying, isn't there, that you never know when the last time that they let you brush their hair or they let you hug you is going to be. That's not something to be morbid about. That's not something to be sad about. Our children grow up. We're all, our job as parent is to help them become independent, isn't it? But we need to enjoy the phase that we are in while we're in it, but equally we can cling on to the fact that if it's a phase that we're not particularly enjoying, that phase will pass. So there you go. There's my 5 top tips, 5 ways of how to get a bit better balance and maybe flourish as a family in 2020. I'm sure there's loads that you can be adding to them. I would love to hear from you what ones you've got, and I'm sure I will probably be adding to them as well. Bye bye.